Alrighty, you guys. So I'm gonna walk you through how to do the first two questions on your homework. And then I'm gonna have you do 9, 11, 12 by yourself. If you haven't read the assignment yet or didn't notice, you are skipping number 10. Oops, sorry, let me go back to that for me. Oh, sorry. We want to skip number 10. I am on page 10 in your homework packet, by the way, so please be following along. That's also said in the assignment, so make sure we're there. And so we're just doing some practice problems with 30, 60, 90. And you want to have your notes out from the other day, so we filled out these rules. Let me get rid of all this. We filled out these rules about the short, the leg, and the short, the long, and the hypotenuse. And so you should have those right next to you. I'm going to write those right here for some reference. S is equal to X. The short leg is X. The long leg is equal to X times the square root of 3. And then the hypotenuse is equal to 2x. You want to keep those rules handy. And those rules are on page 9 in your homework packets. Excuse me, equals 2x. Okay, so that is just the rules that I had right here. Remember, you would get this on a test or a quiz, so don't be stressed out if you don't want to memorize that. That's definitely not the plan. And I'm sorry, we're on page 8 in your homework packet, in your notes packet. So anywho, let's just solve for the missing sides. So remember, you want to first label all three of your sides. In order to do that, I like to see the 30, the 60, and the 90. So remember, here is, I'm going to go full screen here. For number 7, let me zoom in a little. Here is my 90 degrees, remember? Here's my 60, so then that must mean that in this corner I'm missing my 30. And so we want to then label our sides. Remember, across from the right angle is my hypotenuse. Then the side across from my 30 degree, remember 30 degree is my smallest angle, so that's where my small or my short side comes from. And then by process of elimination, or if you remember 60 is bigger, so 60 must be my long side. So once we do that, we want to figure out what information we have. Well, the problem gave me that my hypotenuse is equal to 16. So H is equal to 16. Oh dear, hold on. H is equal to 16, so that's what my hypotenuse is. Let me go back to that. My hypotenuse is equal to 16. That's just what the problem told me. And then if we look at our three rules over here, if we look at our rules, the hypotenuse is equal to 2 times x. So that's also equal to 2 times x. So let's just solve for x. Divide by 2, divide by 2. So then my hypotenuse is equal to, or not my hypotenuse, x, excuse me, x. To solve for x is equal to 8. Oops, sorry about that again. I'm still trying to figure out how to do this thing. I never thought I'd have to, but that's totally fine. We are taking this one step at a time. So x is equal to 8. And then we got to ask ourselves, what does x being equal to 8 tell us? Does that tell us any pieces of information? Well, let's look at our rules over here. X is equal to 8. Oh, well, we know that one side is x. So we know that my small side is equal to x. So then y must be equal to 8. The side y, which is my s, must be equal to 8. And then now let's solve for the side that is labeled x. The side that's labeled x is my long side, and if we look at our rules, my long side is equal to x times the square root of 3. And we know what x is. X is equal to 8, so my long side is equal to 8 times the square root of 3. So those are my two answers. My short side, which is what we're calling y, is equal to 8, and then my long side is equal to 8 times the square root of 3. I'm sorry that we're using x and y here, but I hope you followed along with that. And then I'm going to do question 8 with you guys. Question 8, same thing. Let's label our three sides, what we know. We're going to have our 30, 60, and our 90. So remember, here's my 90. Here's 30, so then I must have my 60. And then I'm going to label my sides. So my hypotenuse across from there across from my right angle is my hypotenuse. Across from my 30-degree angle is my short side. And then across from my 60-degree angle is my long side. Okay, and so with that being said, we are going to see what we were given. We were given that my short side is 2. So we were given my short side is equal to 2. Well, let's compare that with our rules. Our rules over here in the green, our short side is just equal to x. So 2 is equal to x. Okay, that helps me. Now let's see, now that we know what x is, your goal is to always know what x is, if we can figure out our long side. Our long side, based on our rules, our long side is equal to x times the square root of 3. Well, do we know what x is? And you're going to tell me, yes, we know that x is equal to 2, so my long side is equal to 2 times the square root of 3. We're just substituting what x is equal to. So with that being said, then v is equal to 2 times the square root of 3. You can leave it as L or V. We're just telling you that V is what my long is, or you can just tell me that long is equal to 2 times the square root of 3. And then we need to solve for our hypotenuse. Let's go look at our rule for hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is equal to 2 times x. So hypotenuse is equal to 2 times x. Do I know what x is? Yes, we figured out that x is 2, so we're going to substitute that in. So that's equal to 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is just equal to 4. So my hypotenuse is 4. So u is equal to 4, and v is equal to 2 root 3. These problems go a little quick as soon as you know what you are doing. You should know how to do the rest of these problems as long as you can follow along with number 7 and 8. These are the two kinds of problems we're really going to run into. So please try 9, 11, and 12. Be sure to skip 10 and let me know any questions. When you finish, please send me a picture so I can give you credit for this week's assignments. After this, you only have one really easy day left, and then you are on spring break. I cannot thank you all enough for continuing to do this work. I promise it'll pay off when we get back. I miss you all tremendously, and we are going to get through this together. I absolutely promise. Take care.